Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. This is Coach Tiffany Parra bringing you a healthy entrepreneur podcast today, creating a healthy entrepreneur with PFF Magazine. Now, I have some really special friends that are coming in today. Two of the contributing writers. They are awesome and amazing coaches. They are authors. Let me just go ahead and bring them on in. Good morning, Coach Kimberly. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Coach Sean. Oh, how are you ladies this morning?
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you
Grand
so much.
rising to everyone.
Thank you so much for joining me this morning. We are going to have an awesome and amazing conversation about heart health today and what that looks like as an entrepreneur. Oh, we got somebody else coming in the house as well. We got Coach Karen coming in the house. Oh my goodness. Oh, here we go. Coach Karen. So we're going to talk about heart health and just being an entrepreneur. You know, we go through a lot of stress and we don't focus on us, right? So ladies, let's just go around the room and just talk about what does being heart healthy look like to you? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with you, Coach Kimberly.
I'm sorry. Oh, was that me?
Yes, that's you,
Oh,
honey.
sorry. I need to turn my volume up. I didn't hear the last part. Hello, I am Kimberly Richardson. I am the founder of 50 Plus Shades of Us, which is a platform for women who are 50 plus. And the platform helps women step into their next season of renewed passion and purpose. SHADES is an acronym for showing how age doesn't end seasons, and I am your purpose driven mentor. So, and just to, since you started with me, heart health, right? Um, it's all about finding that healthy balance between mind, body, and spirit, in addition to making sure you feed your body physically with the proper nutrients. And I know we'll get deeper into that, so I'll let you introduce everyone else.
Thank you so much, Coach Kim. All right, Coach LaShawn, what does heart health look like to you? And introduce yourself as
Ooh.
well.
Oh, my name is LaShawn Fleming Bruce. I go by Sean Speaks on many of my social media sites. And I am the owner of the Fleming Bruce Law Firm. And I'm also the creative director, owner of SeanSpeaks.org, and also an Amazon site called Melanated Haven, where I'm an Amazon affiliate. And so, but what does heart healthy look like for me? I think it looks like basically having a life where you can do the things that you want to do, right? That you have the physical capacity to do them, that you have the mental capacity to do them, and that you have the emotional capacity. Because when you think about heart healthy, it's a combination of not just your physical, but it's your physical, it's your emotional, and it's your mental. Because sometimes you can have a healthy looking body, right? All buff or real sexy, whatever, but your emotions are out of whack, right? And so that heart healthy is sort of it's a wholeness, right? So heart health look like to me is a wholeness from within yourself, and how you interact with life, right? And so being able to get up, have a system. That's what heart healthy look like, is having sort of that system of living that produces for you an ability to live life the way you want to live, right? Whether it's getting up, going to work out, whether it's saying, hey, you know what, I like cake, but I can't have too many pieces of cake because too much cake is, not good for me. It's having that ability to sort of control over all aspects of your life, whether it's making sure you get the physical in, making sure your emotions don't get out of whack, and making sure your brain and your health is always on point and you're trying to feed it as best you can. So that's what heart healthy look like overall to me.
Thank you, Coach LaShawn. Hello, Coach Karen. Go ahead and let us know who you are and what heart health looks like to you.
Well, hello and good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be. My name is Coach Karen A. Scott. I am a certified purpose development coach and a certified holistic health coach. Holistic W, as the ladies preceding me mentioned, It's the whole body, mind, and soul. So part of my coaching teaches just that because you have to be rounded physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and financially because that brings on the finances really brings on a lot of weight, which can cause, heart problems. So we have to be harmonized in all those areas in order for us to keep our body pure and clean so that our heart can work the way it wants to work. You don't want to go somewhere and you're just not feeling well because you can look good, as LaShawn said, on the outside and
Right.
feel really bad on the inside. So it starts from the inside with what we eat, our surroundings, the people we are around, and the type of whatever we're reading or looking at, that affects us as well. So we have to keep the vibes positive because all
Yeah.
those areas, if they're not, will bring in toxicity, which will then bring on the heart issues and whatever may stem from that. So keep the body clean because this is the only thing that we have that we reside in. So
That's
that's my
right.
take.
Thank you, Coach Karen. Yeah, our body is definitely our temple, and we want to make sure that we keep it right. So, you know, Coach Kimberly had mentioned, just what you put in your body. Well, all of you mentioned, what you put in your body as well, right? And when we're just caught in that, hamster wheel of life, right? We're stressed, we're moving, we're moving. Our body is again, yeah, we might look great on the outside, right? We looking good, we got the makeup on, we going, but the body is filled with inflammation because it is not happy with us, right? And we're not listening because we just keep going. So when you're feeding your body, you really want to focus on a lot of those foods that prevent inflammation. Fill your body with, ginger, turmeric, garlic. I make an awesome tea that I just heard about recently. And guys, write this down, okay? It is, again, we're going to do the turmeric, ginger, you do cloves, raw honey, and lemon. And if you do that 2 to 3 times a day, that's going to really help you with the inflammation in the body. And it also just, I know when I make my tea, it's a process. I take my time with it. I steep it. It's my self care, right? It's that moment of just peace with me. So, just a little tip from Coach Tiffany. Just to add something like this, it's very simple. Herbs that are out there that we can add into our life. Now, ladies, what are some of the other foods that maybe you have added into your life that have really, helped you to just feel good? So we'll start with you again, Coach Kimberly.
Oh, I don't know if I necessarily added anything more so than what I've just been doing all along. And, I have a pretty, I believe, a healthy diet. Well, first of all, hydration, water, water, and water, right? Um, Fiber, is good. Eating foods that, has the fiber content. It keeps your system regulated. Like oatmeal. I'm a fruit and nut fanatic. So I can't go a week. I have to have. I love my almonds. And my pecans. I love my apples, my oranges. So I incorporate that into my diet on a weekly basis. And I eat lean meats. I'm a chicken, turkey, fish more so person. And every now and then, I have a little beef because, your body, if we, listen to our body tells us and lets us know, what we're lacking. And so a
Yeah.
lot of times when we get that craving for, maybe that hamburger, well, we need, we need more. What is that? Right, right. And your iron, making sure, your iron levels are sufficient. At one point in time, I, had to take iron supplements because I had, low iron, low blood count. But I also take a multivitamin on a daily. So I
Mhm.
try to do all those things, as far as like, the intake, that's healthy for me. But in addition to that, it's the foods that we eat, but it's also the environment, that you surround yourself with. And it's so key. It's not just one element, it is, yes, diet is important, but there's so many elements that uh, gives us that overall healthy body, healthy mind, healthy spirit. Um, and so, the number one thing to keep in mind, especially as we age, um, and me being in that 50 plus bracket, we have to keep moving. We can't just get so comfortable to where we're not exercising, but more importantly, it's so vital that we find something like Coach LaShawn just mentioned. When you find something that you love to do, and when you're doing something that you love, man, it's I don't think we realize how much it it alleviates the stressors that we're faced with on a daily, right?
Yes.
And yeah, so and that's why I'm so passionate about being a purpose driven mentor, because it's all about purpose. You have to have something that you look forward to getting up to doing every day.
Right. Right. Yes. Thank you so much, Coach C. All right, Coach LaShawn.
Mute.
Oh,
She's on mute.
I, yeah, I got you on mute.
I'm mute.
Oh,
No,
there you
I had me on mute. I had me on mute. Just I wanted to eliminate the background. But I'm piggybacking off of Coach Kimberly, because some of the things that you can definitely incorporate, is water for sure. Number
go.
one, right?
Yes.
Our
Mm.
bodies is mostly water,
That's
right?
right.
And so sometimes when you come into an understanding that, wait a minute, if my body is mostly water, and water can have that energy effect, then sometimes things can affect us in ways that can be beneficial or not, based upon
Mm-hmm.
whether or not we have enough water in our body. So definitely the water. But one of the foods that I actually got from Dr. Sebi,
Oh, yeah.
and it was bell peppers. So I'm a little weird, right? I
Yeah.
will eat bell peppers for breakfast. What I do is I chop them up, put a little season
Yeah.
on them, and I either saute them or bake them. But and I kind of bake them to almost a burnt crisp, right? So
Okay.
you got the crunchiness, and then you got the sweetness from the bell peppers, and that's sort of a tip.
Mm.
And what does bell peppers do? According to Dr. Sebi, and I actually agree with him, it
Yeah.
eliminates inflammation from your body. Right. So I'm one of
Mm.
those ones that I eat a different breakfast than what, they probably people say was, what
I
breakfast is.
love that.
I will do oatmeal, but I'll do bell peppers. That'll be my breakfast, will be, some chopped up bell peppers. So that's actually a really good tip. If you haven't heard of Dr. CB, definitely go check him out.
Yes.
He had knowledge, before his time.
Did. Sure
Beans
did.
is another thing that I've sort of been incorporating, is eating a lot more beans during the week, to get that fiber into your body. And so yeah, so I think if you incorporate if you take at least those things right there and incorporate into your body, that'll be great. And of course, y'all know I am a certified brain health specialist. I have to pump my products, right? A multivitamin, right? This Brain Body Power Max multivitamin. It will help your memory. I don't know about y'all, but I'm right at 50, and my memory, I was on a decline, and that
Mm.
really helps to sort of, because it has a memory booster in it as well, and it
Yeah.
really does help with your memory, along with doing other exercises. And so definitely you want a multivitamin. If it's not Brain and B Brain and Power Max, you want some kind of multivitamin, so that at least your body is getting all of the vitamins that you need, because
Right.
all of that will help in alleviating stress. But one
Yeah.
thing Coach Kimberly said, and I want to piggyback off of it, and I'm almost positive Karen is going to piggyback off of me because it's like we're a thread. We meet each other where we leave off. Doing what you love, right?
Yes.
If you want to eliminate stress, I'm gonna get it personal. I started to eliminate stress out of my life when I started to do more each day of what I want to do, what
Yes.
aligns with me, than what I had to do. And then what I found was it's like the needle started to move. Then what became what I had to do became what I love to do. Then it
Yeah.
didn't feel like I was forced to do anything, right? If that makes sense, right? So if
Yes.
you, so we say,
Absolutely.
Coach Kimberly, to do what you love. If you really want to start reducing stress in your life every day, do a little bit more of what you would do no matter who is watching, no matter whether
Yes.
you have to get a paycheck for it. Do what you would love. And you will find
Yes.
doing what you love puts you into alignment with your life. So a lot of us are so stressed because we live our lives sort of, I call it outside of the story of who we are, right?
Right.
I'm trying to live in Kimberly's story. I'm trying to live in Tiffany's story or Karen's story. And I haven't actually developed the milieu, the environment within my own self for my own
Mhm.
story. And so it got me out of alignment, and it's out of that alignment that creates stress, right?
Mhm.
If you can start to do what you love, then there's no resistance, there's no
Yes.
stress, there's no fight, because you're living your life how you want to live your life. So there's nothing missing, right?
Yes.
And so definitely doing what you love is not going to cost you anything.
That's right.
You don't have to go to the grocery store, right? You don't have to go pay nobody. You can do that very easily starting right now.
Yes. Ooh, I love it. Love it. Love it. Coach Sean. All right, Coach Karen, you're up.
Whoa, you are so right, LaShawn and
Yes.
Kimberly. Oh my goodness. For
Man.
me, I don't have a favorite food, as Kimberly would say, because I kind of feel like I eat healthy, pretty healthy, but I do eliminate processed foods. I don't go to any type of fast food restaurant.
Mm,
Non GMO, gluten free, certified organic, certified vegan, because what we put in our bodies, just like what we put on our bodies, it enters our bloodstream in less than 20 seconds. So why not only do what you love to do, but why don't you enjoy food? Because there's a lot of good food out there that we can eat.
yes.
I'm gonna love the green pepper thing, because you remind me of telling my daughter a while back, anything you want for breakfast, as long as it's healthy. So now you just gave
Mhm.
me another tip. So I appreciate that. And I do have as part of my regimen, I do have what I call, the doctor that I'm associated with, 90 for life. He says that we need 90 essential nutrients. So as long as you're breathing, you need some type of supplementation,
Mhm.
nutrients and vitamins, because you're not getting it all in our foods,
That's
because
right.
the soils have been depleted since the 1920s. And if you don't believe me, you can look at U.S. Senate Document 264, and it will tell you how the soils have been depleted. And we're thinking we're getting everything in the foods that we eat, and we're not. So it's about, educating one another on that as well. And,
Yes.
for me, doing what I love, I just told somebody this morning, I will I will get done this healthy entrepreneur show, and I'll say to my daughter, let's get on the train and go to the city. Or let's go for a walk in the park. Or just go outside and look at the beauty of nature. Take it in,
Yes.
drink it in. Make your heart happy and do what you love to do, because that's what's going to make your heart feel good, feel good.
Yes.
feel good. And when you feel good from the inside, it will illuminate on the outside. Because you can tell if someone's not feeling well. Yeah, you can have the makeup on and what have you. But if you have that in you as part of your coaching or whatever you do, you can look at someone's eyes or you can look at their skin and see that they're not doing what does the body right. And another
Right.
thing, get that power nap in, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes. Get it in. I'm serious because I will do
Yeah.
that too. I will do that too. And I will set my alarm to music so that when I'm waking up, I'm not being shocked. It's like nice music. So do what you love to do. Try your best to eat the right foods because all these fruits and vegetables that we have, they have a responsibility as
Right.
the beets. Inflammation, a lot of these things reduce inflammation. The green peppers, garlic, and like you mentioned earlier, Tiffany, the ginger and the turmeric. I love ginger tea. I love it straight. And all these things does the body good. And why not do that? Be healthy, be happy, heart happy.
Yes. Ooh, I love this. So we're talking about doing the things that we love, right? And as entrepreneurs, sometimes we get a little pushback. So let's talk about that little bit of pushback that we receive. A lot of times it is, close friends that are, why are you trying to do that? What are you doing? Family members, why are you walking away from this 9 to 5 job to do this? How do you know it's going to work? So let's talk a little bit about just that whole aspect of things and what we do to really just kind of prevent you know those negative bits to seep in. I know for myself, I have included EFT tapping and the emotional freedom techniques. So whenever I feel anxiety, I'm feeling stress, I go to my tapping points. I start talking to myself. I start doing those positive affirmations, letting myself know that you are doing exactly what you're supposed to do. You are contributing to the world the way God, created you to, and just really putting that in. And before I started doing that, I was a hot mess. Anytime anybody would tell me, no, you can't do that, or they'd question, well, why would you want to start that? Oh, you know what? I don't know why I'd want to start that. Well, you know what? I have so much background on, human resources and all that stuff. Yeah, that makes me comfortable. Let me go back to that because that's my comfort. Now I'm scared all day, every day, but I'm doing what I love. And it's amazing. So let's start with you, Kimberly.
That is as long as we're walking, this earth is going to always be pushback. It's going to always be resistance. And so um, the key to staying true to who you are is just you have to connect to um, a higher a power that's greater than yourself, right? And that spirit, we have the spirit within us. We came to this world for a reason, and as long as we're waking up every day, we still have purpose. And so we can't really be concerned so much about what other people think and feel, because at the end of the day, it's all about you and what your body is telling you, spirit is telling you, and how to keep that healthy balance and tune out all the noise. Find time to just steal away and find that time to connect, meditate, listen to positive affirmations, keep affirmations around you. If it's music, I love, I love different genres of music, but, surround yourself with those things that is feeding your spirit. Um, and you would find yourself starting to have that positive attitude, because it starts with the mindset. First of all, it's that attitude. And nobody is perfect, so look at your daily challenges as a test. And there are certain things that sometimes we need to be stretched, and so it's nothing wrong with a little bit of stress, but you don't want to get stressed to the point to where it's making you sick. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking, coming, being out, I'm happy to say this. I'll be 60 in a few days, right?
You look
Um,
amazing.
and and I believe the key to, my overall health is I am walking, I am talking, I am breathing, I am doing what I know I was called to do, and it fills me with so much joy. That doesn't mean that, in the background, I don't have other, things that may, distract me or pull me away. There are things going on in our families, our friends, so it's going to always be something going on. But in the midst of that, in the midst of all of these things, I still have my joy. And I know that that comes from, my connection with, God, because I know who, my guide is. I know how I survived a lot of things, that you will find the longer you live, you're like, wow, how did I get through that? How did I, and we're just understand we're not walking this journey by ourselves, you know, and it's okay, when we have those downtimes. And it's something else I wanted. There's another factor in, this whole, living, and, yeah, it's about your diet, but there was a study that was conducted. This was before the pandemic. There was a study done by AARP on the keys to healthy living. And believe it or not, our social network, our friendships, and is a key factor in all of that. People, with close friends, or if you surround yourself with people who support you, but if you have that, if you have a healthy social network, it makes a difference in your longevity.
Absolutely.
Um, as a matter of fact, I know, we heard and we remember during the pandemic, there were a lot of our loved ones, a lot of our seniors who, they were dying at a higher rate and a higher percentage because they were shut off from their loved ones and their family. And so it was a combination of, the COVID, but um, social connections is key to longevity. And, we have to remember, we're we were created to have those human connections, and
Mm-hmm.
we have to prioritize and make sure that the social networks don't keep us from building and forming those heart connections, because
Mm-hmm.
again it goes back to that heart, right? um and so there's so many outlets that we have to where we don't have to feel alone. And I encourage you, anyone, especially if you're in your 50s and you're older, and sometimes we lose a lot of those connections along the way, but I encourage you to get connected to a community. Find
Mm-hmm.
something that we mention this so many times. Find something that makes your heart smile. What is it that you enjoy doing? Is it volunteering in your community? Is it spending time with your grandchildren? Is it reading a good book?
Mm-hmm.
It could be, keeping your mind sharp with, doing puzzles. It could be writing. We all have a story inside of us. How many of you, take the time when you write, it releases a whole lot of endorphins. And so it's so many things that we can do. We have so many options now. And it's, it's so important and key to find what that is going to feed your spirit. And you can get through anything, once you connect to that.
Yes, love that. And I just have to just comment on one of the things that I've heard so much with you here right now, but the friends, and that social network, that is everything. If you have that negative group of people that are always, maybe they're the ones that they want to go out and party, they want to go do this, that, the other, they don't have any focus on anything, they're just doing whatever, right? But during COVID, I'll just say, like, during COVID, I created my group, right? I created the Girl Powerhouse Network because I got laid off from my job. It was a gut punch, and I needed positive friends around me, and that has done just everything for me because I have now found that courage to jump out there as an entrepreneur because I surrounded myself with more entrepreneurs, right? Mm-hmm. I think God just knew who I needed because I sat down, I said, Lord, just connect me to whoever I need to be connected to help me feel right again. And that's really what happened, so you're so spot on when you say that, our social network really is that very important piece to us because, feedback from people is everything to us. I mean, it really is. But that's kind of how we function. So thank you for that. So LaShawn.
Oh yeah, now the social network is definitely key, right? But it's also tied to the question that you asked, which is, when you get that pushback, because sometimes you can get the pushback from your social network, and it can be from people who absolutely love you, absolutely care for you, but they're not comfortable with you doing more than what they think is possible, right? And so a lot of times what happens with people like us, right, especially if you have sort of that entrepreneurial spirit, you're always thinking about what can be possible next. Yes. Right. And so I equate, like, with some people, y'all can call it God, but I always call, okay, what can be possible next? That's kind of what can pull me, is what can be possible next. And sometimes when you're in your network, your social network, or with your family, and you start to talk about the things that you're wanting to do and what you're wanting to create, it becomes almost impossible for them to see what you see, right? And so they give you that pushback, but there is a pushback, but it's actually from a place of love because they're trying to protect you, right? They're literally trying to protect you. That's their way of protecting you, to try to put fear in you, make you scared, make you afraid to go to do that, right? Make you afraid to lose the job, right? And then it's like that spirit within you that want to sort of expand past where you are, almost create the circumstances where you'll get laid off, right? And it'll sucker punch you, but then it births something else greater, better, bigger, right? And so the pushback isn't actually a bad thing. I say when I get the pushback, I'm then trying to figure out, well, what more can I do? What more can I add to my panel of things that I'm doing, right? Because it's not about me getting you to believe in what it is that I'm doing or want to be. It's about getting me to believe in it. That's right. And so sometimes that pushback is almost like that sort of, are you sure this is what you want to do? Because you are the one that's got to create that inner environment within yourself that can cultivate the vision you have for your life, the vision of who you are, where you want to go, what you want to be, what you want to achieve, right? And so the outer environment, right? A lot of times we focus so much on the outer environment, right? People will say, oh, that's a crazy idea. Oh, why are you doing that? That's not going to work. And I always like this saying that it's a crazy idea the day before it works, but it's genius once it works, right? And so in order for you to cultivate that crazy idea, you almost have to have a crazy sense of faith, if you want to call it, in what it is that you say you're creating, right? You have to have a sense of, I know that this is what I am supposed to do, or how I'm supposed to live, or who I'm supposed to be. I know it so intensely that the pushback doesn't matter. The pushback actually just fuels me to keep doing what I'm doing, right? Because that's how a crazy idea turn into genius, right?
Yeah.
Think about some of the things that we're doing right now. Here we are on a Zoom in different places, different
Right.
time locations, talking about being a healthy entrepreneur. This would have been unheard of 50, 60 years ago, right? But
Yep.
somebody had a crazy idea. So you see what I'm saying? And I keep telling people, my idea may be crazy until it converges with Kimberly's idea. And then my idea and Kimberly's idea may be crazy until it converges with Karen's idea. And then
Right.
my idea, Kimberly's idea, and Karen's idea may be wacko until it converges with Tiffany. And all of a sudden, genius is formed, right? Your idea, your part, your contribution is just is essential and it's most important because
Yeah.
it's needed so that Kimberly can then do her part, right? You know, think
Yeah.
about just think about just some of the questions, Tiffany, that you just asked us. And it's funny how it's almost like we piggyback off of each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Social entrepreneur, Karen bringing in the finances with regards to all of the things that can benefit you, doing what you love. All of those things fit. And all of those ideas came from sort of that inner environment of us expressed outward, right?
Yeah.
So we got to learn to trust ourselves, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
when you trust yourself, the pushback doesn't matter, or it either, even if it does matter, it becomes fuel to what it is that you trust within yourself.
Mm. Love that. Thank you, Michonne. Oof. Mm.
Love
Right,
that.
Coach Karen. Right, Coach Karen.
Amazing. Yes, 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 yes. Pushback should make you, like, it should make you grow. It should make you stretch. I think even Kimberly mentioned that. Just stretching ourselves. And so I never looked at it as you said. I never looked at pushback as negative. It just makes me want to go further. But before I go on, we talk about purpose so much, we already have a purpose. Yes, we do. It's to love and serve one another. How do we get to activate that purpose? Looking into what it is that you have a passion for to activate it. Because your purpose is there. You just have to activate it and execute. And so when you start thinking those ways, that mindset start thinking like that, yeah, pushback does come. Because now they're like looking at you, what are you talking about? Not understanding what you're talking about. And as LaShawn meant, because they don't understand it, are you sure this is what you want to do? So when you find out what it is in your gifts, your talents, and your abilities that can help with your purpose, then you're going to keep pushing forward. You're going to continue to grow. You're going to look for ways to expand your surroundings, your horizon, your network, your net worth, because the pushback has now said to you, you can't do this. And I said, yes, I can, because I know I have a purpose that God has placed me on this earth to do, and I'm going to do it. Is it hard sometimes? Yes, it is. But that just makes me keep going more and more. It's just like putting fuel into a car. You just, and you just want to keep driving until you run out of gas. Well, every time you push back, you're adding fuel into me, and I'm just going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and you going to push back, and I'm going to push forward, and you're going to push back, and I'm going to keep going because I already know what I want to do. I already know what God has in store for me, and I'm going to keep going, even if you are a naysayer. So part of that, like you said, changing your surroundings. I say this all the time: healthy environment, healthy nutrition, healthy relationships, healthy social media connections, people who are going to empower you, encourage you, uplift you, hold you accountable, give you tough love, not being negative, but telling you maybe this is what you can do, but maybe do it this way. Not, oh, you can't do it at all. We need those type of people in our lives because we know what we want to do, but it's also nice to have that empowerment. You created the Girl Powerhouse network. That's what that is. That's what this is we're doing today on this podcast. We're empowering, encouraging, educating, letting people know that you have a place in this world to expound on your purpose. We all have this seed planted within us. Now it's time for you to begin to water it, nurture it, nourish it, remove the weeds, which could be people, which could be, your job, it could be whatever you eat, it could be whatever places you go to, like you mentioned earlier, Tiffany. You will not start to go to these places because now you're trying to grow and flourish in whatever you do. But with all of that, having, for me, knowing what I'm supposed to be doing and trying to do with other women is gratitude. Because gratitude does the heart well as anything else. But having the gratitude to be able to empower others and to encourage others, So when I do get the pushback, yeah, I push forward, but I do meditate. I do affirmations. I listen to positive music. I love listening to classical music. Just it's just anything that's going to fuel me so that I can push forward. So the pushbacks will fuel me, the meditation, the affirmations, the positive surrounding, that fuels me. That's what keeps me going at the age of 66 because people always saying, why are you still going and going and going and going and going? You should be retired. I will retire when I will retire. But right now, I have breath in my body that I can breathe out and
Yes.
positive life. I can speak life into other people. So as long as I can do that, I will keep going and the fuel will keep being added and I will keep pushing forward. So push back if you may, but you're just adding fuel to the fire. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So now I know you. As we're talking about that through that last question, you all kind of mentioned a few little things, with self care. We've been talking about that today as well. What is your most favorite self care thing that you have put in place just to really help you to find that balance? What's that favorite thing that you put in place, Kimberly?
Favorite healthcare. Wow. Um, that's a good question because um, what is my favorite? I think quiet time. I think still in a way, and because as a mentor, with all the things that we're doing as a wife, mother, even though my sons are grown and I have grandkids, but that quiet time, still in a way, time just to be, because we find ourselves sometimes we can be so busy and and a lot of times that's not necessarily healthy. Um, and so I like that. I like, you know, listening to my thoughts. I love getting in tune to, my center. And, we have to, make time, to have those moments. Because if we don't, then, we find ourselves being pulled, from all these different, angles and then, the stressors and that's where that stress comes in at. So I love like, Karen, you mentioned earlier, I'll take a nap, I love napping. And it could be 15 minutes. I could be sitting up reading or watching something and I'll doze off because, that's your body. Your body is communicating to you that, hey, take a break, you need rest. So, but I love my time. My time is so as just as important as all the other things, that we find ourselves doing. And I think we need to do more of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. All right, Coach LaShawn. Favorite
Uh,
self-care.
Favorite self-care. I think I have a combo, right? Because I think I try to create within myself sort of a system. I turn myself into a system. And so running, writing, speaking, and resting, I would say, are my sort of my self-care combo, right? I love to get up. One of the things that gets me up at the start of the day is I'll go for a run, right? So, even when I'm kind of, a little, tired, I wake up and I just know that if I just go take me, a 30, 40-minute run, that's going to, make me feel so much better. So the running pulls me. One of the things I like about when I run, sometimes I run, I don't listen to anything other than my thoughts, which was what I love what Coach Kimberly said about listening to your thoughts. One of the ways you can gauge whether or not you are stressing or not is whether or not you are comfortable listening to your own thoughts. If you can listen to your own thoughts and not be stressed out, then that's good. That means your thoughts are not stressing you out, because the only thing that stress you are your own thoughts, right? And if
Mhm.
you can listen to your thoughts, you're not stressed, right? And a
Right.
lot of times when you get to kind of where Coach Kimberly's saying where she's at, where she enjoys listening to her thoughts, it's because she controls her thoughts. Her thoughts are tools as opposed to her being the tool of her thoughts. Many times I find in my life, right, I used to be so stressed to freak out, but it was because the I was the tool of my thoughts. Instead of me
Mhm.
using my thoughts as tools, my thoughts use me as the tool, right? And then that freaked me out, stressed me out, worried me, all of that type of stuff, right? And so running helps, because running gives you that sort of that quiet, almost like that quiet time to allow your thoughts to flow. And then you'll start to be, I always think of thoughts as, like a conveyor belt, right? Maybe I don't know where the thoughts come from, but they come in, right? Just because they've come in doesn't mean I got to take them off the conveyor belt and deal with them. I can look at them, I can see them, I can say, yeah, but that don't apply. Let it go, right? You know what I'm saying? I can have that kind of control. That's me having that control over the thoughts, and my thoughts being the tool as opposed to me being a tool. The writing and the speaking kind of converge. I love writing. I love writing and I love speaking, as you can tell, right? But what it does is that it helps me to see what Coach Karen calls your purpose. It helps me to see
Mhm.
my purpose in the world, right? A lot of times you don't see your purpose because you're not articulating your inner connection with life, right? It's
Mhm.
like we're so used to people telling us what the data is, but when you write and
Right.
you speak, it forces you to take all of the incoming data along with the outgoing data and find your place in it, right? Right? Whether
Mhm.
it's your created place or whatever, but you have to, it forces you to synthesize it together. And that's a good thing, because that gives you power, that gives you authority, right? And so the more you can do it, the more you begin to realize you have authority in your life. So that's the writing and the speaking. And then the resting is, you know, the resting is the recouping, right? I feel like it's like, that's the sleeping part, going in your pod. That's like that getting plugged up again, right?
Mhm.
Even that sort of that rejuvenation, resting your thoughts, right? Resting your body so that you can have more time to do what you love, right? It's a refueling. And so, yeah, so that's my sort of my little combo: running, writing, speaking, and resting.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you, Coach LaShawn. Hi, Coach Karen. What about you?
Wow, we are definitely pretty well aligned here on this beautiful, beautiful session today. For me, wow, first off, getting up prior to my family and just sitting in a quiet space. Like you said, just listening to your thoughts. Some of them you'll receive, some of them you won't, but it's just having that quiet time. Because not only are you getting the quiet time for thought, you're getting quiet time to preparing for your day, things you're going to be doing for your day, um, just giving you that prep time. And I don't have anything on, no music, no TV, just taking that moment for quiet time. So first I didn't understand why my body kept waking me up at 6 6:45 every morning 6 years ago until 3 years ago. I realized that's because you need to get up and just take time for yourself instead of getting up at 8:30 and packing lunches and doing breakfast. And so now when I do that, oh my goodness, my days just it kind of goes like that. When the little nags come in, it's not enough for me to stop what I'm doing. So that's in the morning. Then I take the middle of the day, be it lunchtime, break time, move away from the computer, anything that looks like work, get out. That's when I do the park. And I'll walk the park because we have a very nice park with just trees, trees, trees. So I walk that path and just enjoy the beauty. And that kind of rejuvenates and refreshes me as well. So when I'm ready to come back for the afternoon, my body's like ready to go again. Then I have bedtime. As you can see, I like to sleep. But I have bedtime and I go to bed the same time every night. The same time every night. Shower, bed, same time. And before I do that, I'll either do reading. I love to do crossword puzzles. I love to just really, sit and have that moment round in my room and doing things with me. And just, again, listening to the thoughts. And so when I'm resting, and as we all know, not only does that refresh and rejuvenate you, that's also replenishing yourselves as well. Because we need that rest. A lot of times people think, I don't know why. I'm like, come on, I don't know why you think going to bed before midnight is a crime. Because it really isn't. And you need to learn how to get some rest. But anyway, I will do that. And so, just think about that. We're talking about heart health and all these different things that, Kimberly has mentioned, LaShawn, even you, Tiffany, is for our own good. We're building our bodies so that our heart can be healthy and we can be happy so that we can love what we do. Whether it's a hobby, whether it's listening to music, whether it's, just taking, that time out because Sean likes to speak and she likes to write. That is also great for stress free. Doing things you love. It doesn't always mean, I like to bake. I like to cook. So I'll get in the kitchen and I'll think, oh, what did I make today? Sunday, I was on a roll for Super Bowl. I wouldn't even watch the game. But I had the menu going, made some pies and made some different types of food. But I love to do that. That right there is part of doing the very good because it's something I love to do. It's not like I walk in the kitchen and go, I don't want to be here. I will be in the kitchen because I love food and things. There's so many other things I love to do, but that's what we have to do. We have to figure out what it is that we love to do
Yes.
and then do it. And then do it. And then you're just going to feel so much better for it. Do your heart good. Make your heart happy. Do the things you love to do.
Yes. Love it. I tell you, like, I think with my self-care, I just love getting outside. Let me just get outside, ground. I think my neighbors think I'm crazy because I'm outside walking in the grass quite frequently. Um, I'm a tree hugger as well. I mean, and I am not ashamed to say it. I mean, I have, you know, again, people will stare at you, but that is the way that I get my energy from the earth, and that's the way I connect. So that's I will get up. I'm in my home office, hours a day. I love what you said too, Karen, because my body's up at 4 o'clock every morning. And sometimes it's up even before that, because my husband's alarm will go off. But my body, even on the weekend, if there is no alarm that goes off, my body is up at 4 o'clock.
Yep, same.
And I've just taken just made a habit of, hey, let's make this your prayer, your meditation, your time for your affirmations. I'm thinking since I've added that and just kind of incorporated that every day, it's just been awesome because it just really helps me to find that balance. So thank you. So ladies, we've already hit almost an hour. Can you believe that? So please, let's just go ahead. We're going to close out with some words of wisdom and encouragement, and also where our audience can reach out to you if they would like to work with you, or if they just want to reach out and say hi. They want to add you into their network as well. Because what do we say, Coach Karen? Our network is our net worth, right? So, all right, Coach Kimberly.
So, yes, please reach out to me by going to 50plusshadesofus.com. That's 50 plus shadesofus.com, where I can help put you on the path to your next season of renewed passion and purpose. And I just want to leave you with these words. We don't realize how much we've accomplished, how much we've progressed over time. And, and like to take, you know, I like to go back, and part of my mentorship is to start with where you are and then kind of take you back, and so you can see, the journey and understand that all that you've gone through was only there to help prepare you for your next, this time in your lives, right? Um, you know, living your golden years. That's where I come in at. But um, if you don't do anything else, just be better. You can. You always. It's a choice. Be better today than you were yesterday. There's always something to look forward to, and positive mindset. Tomorrow is filled with so many possibilities. So, again, reach out to me. I'm Kimberly Richardson, your purpose-driven mentor.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach Kimberly. Coach LaShawn.
You can connect with me on pretty much all social media. But you can go to my website at shaunspeaks.org, and just connect with me. I have tons of information, and I just like to help people recreate or connect to sort of a new story that they want to have about themselves, right? So they can create the right processes, but not right, because I don't like to use that word, but create the processes that will help to make that story their reality, right? And that gives you sort of that empowering life, right? Because that's what we all want to live an empowering life, right? And that just basically means you want to live in a way that feels good to you, right? That has, if you have stress, you want stress that's a usable stress that's serving you, like doing something scary, but doing it anyway, because it's expanding your possibility, it's expanding your skill set. That's fine. That's healthy stress, right? But you don't want that kind of stress that's got you balled up in a corner, depressed. You don't want that kind of stress, because that's unhealthy stress, because it's going to take you out of here sooner than you need to be, right? We want to live a full, joyful life. And so connect with me at shaunspeaks.org. I got a lot going on. I got a lot coming up going in the future about to release a lot of stuff. So definitely just connect with me at shaunspeaks.org.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Coach Sean. All right, Coach Karen.
Awesome. Coach Karen A. Scott. My website is www.coachkarenascott.com. And I work with coach, mentor women 50 and above, helping them understand what their purpose is and rewriting that story. So basically, if you know your purpose, now it's time to activate it and execute it, so that you know that you're going to make a positive impact not only in your life, but the lives of others. And as you strive to rewrite your story and create your brand, personally and professionally, it will be a brand that people will know, love, and trust. And so we talked about the heart, which is the center of our lives, which is our seat. So if you put gratitude at the center of your life, one day you will find it has completely taken over your life. Having gratitude gives you inner peace, inner joy, inner happiness. So, what is that doing? That's giving your heart new life. So, every day you have gratitude, you give your heart new life. Do your body good by having a healthy heart. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach Karen. Oh, I love this conversation today, ladies. Thank you so much. Before we close
Yeah.
out, I want to just say hello and thank you so much for joining us today. Bucket List Coach, she's been watching us. That's Coach Cindy Lee on YouTube. She has had quite a bit to say today. She has really been vibing on our conversations. Again, thank you so much. That is the Bucket List Coach. And she has let us know, oh, tomorrow, Thursday, is National Random Acts of Kindness Day. So that is Rayoff Day. So just like you just said, Coach Karen, about that gratitude, let's go out and seriously show the world some gratitude tomorrow by doing one random act of kindness for someone. I mean, really, like you said, gratitude is everything. Be grateful for, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that is exactly what has made you who you are. So thank you all so much for joining us today. We love you so much. And also, if you guys want to catch these ladies here, they are, again, contributing writers with Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine. So you can also connect with them there and hear some of their amazing knowledge and wisdom on just some awesome things. So everybody, have an awesome Wednesday. Have an amazing weekend ahead. And we will see y'all next month for our Creating a Healthy Entrepreneur. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.